thanking him for being in acknowledgement of a true and a living God. Thanking the God of Israel for his known and unknown blessings that he's already bestowed upon all of us. Thanking the God of Israel for the wonderful, awesome assembly we had. Thanking him for the beautiful, dutiful workers and the tentative moments that they definitely gave us for social distances, urshers, nurses wearing both gloves and masks, um, separate little small bottle waters so we didn't have to touch them, teaching us that you can wear a mask. What is that, 10 hours, 12 hours a day we was in church. And when you get a little tired, you just drop it below your nose a little bit and then it gets a little bit more comfortable. It was awesome. It was powerful. It was spiritual. I'm thankful to hear that y'all was able to feel the spirit through virtual TV. I'm thankful for Elder Kenner and Elder Joe and anyone else that's involved with allowing virtuality for the Compton Temple to continue on. Y'all look so beautiful on the multiple screen, those of you that I can see. I see y'all in uniform. Yeah, you might think I'm out of uniform, but it's the only robe I got with me right now, my white one. I'm thankful for hearing the words. I get bits and pieces of both the King's sermon, 8 o'clock in the morning, bits and pieces of New York, and they be, and when I can't even see them, I could hear the joy and the power of them coming together. I'm thankful for Mother Pam and Sister Crystal, the youth, and the youth outreach for the Compton Temple, and so when I'm able to see New York's members participate, how my heart rejoices, and all through the assembly on youth night and honoring the days of graduations and college and then on youth night, just seeing all the beautiful things our youth have done and what was so powerful, and I would say that was another 4-hour service. What was so powerful was that throughout the night, especially on the last probably hour, all you would hear is page this, page that, page this, page that, page number 1, page number 2, page this. It was so powerful to see the participation of a family, the Lathans as well, and the Poindexters and all the as well. But it was so powerful to see the involvement and how the God of Israel works through that family and many other families, with a lot more other children, a lot more participation. But then to sit back, and then I'm looking at Reverend Derek, which is my cousin. He was all over the assembly, putting on the mics and on youth night, help assembling the children and then when I saw, YOP leader Mother Pam, and she delivered her message, and it felt so great to see that we are so instrumental in the youth for the God of Israel. And I'm asking the God of Israel to deliver words for me to be able to give to the youth Israel world over. But you know how you can be concerned about children world over, but when you got children in your whole household, you get a lot more concerned about them. And when danger is around them, and when they are out to establish themselves in the world, and you don't want to just hope You want to know you have put something in them so that when the word of God need to rise up and they little ponytail ears need to get them to hear the Spirit of God in them and lead and guide them because of all the days and nights that you slept with them at 1 year old, 5 years old, 12 years old. See, they grown at 12 and tell you they don't want to go to church, but they ain't grown enough to go to that hospital when they sick. So when I'm calming that down. So now when they get grown enough to decide that I'm no longer need to be there on one month, one day out the month, youth day, one day out the month, with the two greatest youth people in all of Israel, one day a month, a half hour out of that day. I need to see your face to know you're still alive. I need to hear your voice to hear you, not nobody tell you what to say, but to hear you say, I'm thankful to the God of Israel that he woke me up this morning, that he let me ride my bike, that he let me go to play football, that he let me go to the hospital and come out, and that he got people in Compton and Israel world over that pray for me no matter how stupid I act on second Sunday. Right. So now, oh boy, I'm calming down. Right. So parents, and let a child tell you what to do. That daddy or the mama, when it comes to Israel, it should never take a back seat. That's right. I'm thankful to the God of Israel, but it's going to be better, and it's going to get great. My dogs out there hearing me raise my voice, and they talking to me. They like, Daddy heated right now. So now, here we go. I'm thankful for the lesson, Elder Kenneth. That's beautiful how you broke that down. I'm going to get into the thankful mode. That's a beautiful way to calm down. I'm going to get into the thankful mode. What am I so thankful for? I got a minister staff. We got a minister staff that is so powerful. Amen. And it ranged from the youth to me and all in between. And they got doctorates and masters and all kind of degrees. They got wisdom, not just of the world, but they got spirituality wisdom that they pour out their hearts. They counsel people throughout the week. And what was so great, because I'm a soldier in the Army, that's why I have to have that song sung. So I let everybody know that I'm on the battlefield for the God of Israel and for my people in Compton. And I'm on the battlefield for Israel world over. And yes, we've lost 2 Brendas. 2, one in Vallejo and one in Detroit. And they were good soldiers in Israel. I might could even put that word great on there. And saying that we're going to lose its casualties in war. Yes. And I'm in a war. And when I saw my brother, DeAndre, the youngest one, exuberant, drove his car to be by my side as a soldier in Michigan at the assembly. Yeah, he might have been inspired because he grabbed his little license out of my hand before he even said hello, but that's okay. I might have been excited too if I drove that far. But I'm so thankful that he was there. And not only was he there, he represented. Yes. Not only did he represent, it's in his heart. Yeah. And he got boys and girls that he raising. And he teaching them what the powers of the God of Israel is in them. And they not real shy no more. And they easy to bribe with some candy if they get a little shy. But the God of Israel is good, he's powerful, and he's awesome. And so my text, I know y'all glad to get to that. My text is about David. And my wife is going to read for me. And just let me know if you can't hear her.
Oh, they can hear me.
But St. John 7:38, starting out with, he that believeth on me, as the scripture said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. And as everyone said today, for this theme to run through here at this present time, be of good courage. Well, let's look about the opposite of that. What could bad courage be? And I think Elder Kenneth broke it down. I didn't get the essence of all of it, but I understood some of it on The Wiz and the Wizard of Oz. And I think the lion. Now, the lion's supposed to be the baddest beast on the earth. He's supposed to be the king of the jungle. And if you ever went to a zoo, I ain't that tall, so his head come up to my chest. They ain't them little bitty cats you seeing running around. These cats, the brothers in Africa, really had to run from and get with. And so to be the king of the beast, and in the eyes of the Wizard of Oz, he needed courage because he wasn't the king at all. He wasn't the king of the beast at all. He was actually scary. He was actually a coward. He was actually had no faith in himself. So now that's the opposite of good courage. Good courage comes with hearing, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Good courage comes in, I'm not going to let nothing and nobody stop me from serving the God of Israel. Good courage is, I'm going to remember when I was sick and he stepped in and helped me. Good courage is when we've heard, I haven't personally had this moment, doctors tell our brothers, spiritual brothers and sisters, not even just them, we out saving more people that ain't never put their name on the book of Israel than the ones that's in Israel. Sometimes I'm praying for people I don't even know and get a call that week and say, he better, Elder Alvin, thank you. She better, Elder Alvin, thank you. God don't have no prospective person, but what I'm trying to tell you, the courage in you can lift the world if you stand upon it with all of your heart, soul, mind, and strength. The courage in us is demonstrated daily. How great God is, how great God will be, and how great God always have been for you and I. And on testimonies, you will hear it over and over again, the great things God has done for us. But I can tell you, oh my Lord, when I was on my natural job, and I'm not trying to brag about what I did and done, get the essence of the story. And so I was in a helicopter, and we was in Alaska, and we was on the Glacier Mountains, and it was all icebergs, huge mountains of ice. And I'm not one to wear sunglasses, but they told me I was gonna need them. And so when the helicopter landed on the glacier and let me and one other trainer out with my dog, which was a German Shepherd, and soon as you got your feet on the ground and you looked up, the snow was so bright and the sun reflected off the snow, it would literally blind you. So you have to put on your sunglasses just to see on top of all that pure white, blue and white snow. And so they told us to leave the dog there and just let him wander around. And we got back up in the helicopter just to let the dog wander around on the glacier, which was miles and miles of glacier. And so when we flew off and left the dog, he looked around for us to see where we was at. Obviously was nowhere for us to be seen. So he started walking. But he started walking in like a zigzag puzzle. He would never walk straight. And I didn't understand why he would never just walk straight to look for us. And then he would go like 20 yards, stop, and then go to his right a little bit, 5 more feet, stop, and then he'll go forward another 20 yards again. And so when we got down, because the shot wasn't what they really wanted, they wanted him to just see him walk. So they landed, let me one trainer out and let another trainer out. The dog was still out, and we had called the dog to us so that they can shoot it to get him in a straight line. Well, the dog wouldn't walk in a straight line again. And so the other trainer that was walking on the glacier, I'm on the glacier too, he started calling out my name, but I couldn't see him. And I must say he had to be maybe 30 yards in the front of me, and I couldn't see him. And I hollered back out at him, where you at? He said, I'm in a crevice, I'm in a hole, and I'm only helped up by my arms, and I don't know how long I can hold my arms like this before I fall through this crevice. And so the dog was in between us. I say, well, that's why the dog was zigzagging, because there's craters under the snow that we can't see.
Yeah, he could.
And the dog knew it was there. I say, now the only way we're going to be able to get to you is you got to call the dog, and the footprints he walked in, we got to walk in.
Wow.
And so the dog then zigzagged and got to him. And so it was about 6 of us. The helicopter done landed, and we formed a human chain holding each other's legs across the ground to the person that got to the other trainer, grabbed him by his arms. And then the last person in the back of the chain got up on his knees and pulled the other person. The other person got on their knees, and we got him up out of that crater that way. And we looked down in that crater, and you couldn't see no bottom. Now, who wouldn't serve a God like that?
Wow.
I'm in danger, don't know I'm in danger, but what we call, some people may call a dumb, scary animal, saved our lives.
Wow.
Why can an animal instincts stay in them enough to stay alive? Because they don't have that lack of courage. They don't have little finger games to block their mind where they can't still know when danger is coming around them, and hoods on their head and things in their ears. They walking down the street and can't know nothing coming up on the side of them, let alone the back of them. So we got to get our mind straight so that God can use us and let us know there's danger at that gas station. I know I'm supposed to get gas today, but the Spirit of God in me telling me, no, don't get it tonight. It's too late. Get up a little earlier tomorrow and get it in the morning in the daytime. This is of good courage. And so now when we get into my lesson, oh my Lord, and it was talking about David, we were saying. And David is in our opening ceremony prayer. And I'm not sure how I'm going to work this out, but I ain't gave you no scripture, but first we're going to go with Psalms, which is our lesson, which is the 27th chapter. And we're going to start at the 1st verse and then jump to the 8th verse and then read down. Before I get Psalms 27, I'm going to want Psalms, the 23rd verse. The Lord is our shepherd. And then from there, we're going to go to a little story about David. And then we're going to drop down, maybe I get all this, to Acts, the 13th chapter. And we're going to start at the 22nd and the 23rd verse. And then we may get a little bit of Revelations, the 7th chapter. I heard the other Joe in Revelations. We're going to, and maybe work with the 1st through the 4th verse. But then, and I've already quoted, he that believeth on me. So then, but when Kenneth broke down the Lord, the 23rd Psalm says what, Peggy?
The 23rd?
Yes.
The Lord is my shepherd.
The Lord is my shepherd.
I shall not want.
I shall not want.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures.
Now, how is he going to do this?
He leadeth me.
Hold on. How is the Lord going to do this? Kenneth told you it was a natural one. There's a whole bunch of them. There's a landlord if you live in an apartment or a house. And then he said, it's the Lord that is talking about is God. And then he went on to tell you, there's a Lord that you can call the king over Israel. And so now, when the Lord, read that again, is our shepherd.
I shall not want.
I don't want him.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures.
Why? Because he already got me in a safe haven place. Read.
He leadeth me beside the still waters.
He lead me beside still waters. Stop right there. Remember the story I told you about the dog. Now, when the Lord ain't there, Bishop Bobby, or your father, or your mother, when they're not there, how they gonna lead you beside still waters? You're gonna have the spirit of the Lord, which is God in you, talking to you and helping you get it through your day and your lifetime. And you're gonna have to make some tough decisions. You're gonna have to, and I'm breaking up my sermon a little bit again. And when love, when you know you really truly love and people really truly is concerned about you, like I know, like I heard, and like I've seen, and like I felt, it wasn't just mama's love at that point. I got love from my wife, got love from all the Compton Temple. I got love from most of my cousins in Michigan, and the love they was pouring out from my sisters, the love that was being poured out. With Elder Alvin, you sure you want to go to that assembly? That's because they love me. That's because they were very, 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 very concerned about me. Matter of fact, they counting the days to make sure I'm still good. And so with all that being said is this: when people love you, they'll be concerned about you. And they may push and push because they may not think I was making a wise decision. But as I know me, if I'm going to be the lion and I'm going to be of good courage, and the Lord, which is called the King of all of Israel, tell me I'm going to be all right. Not just that. Not just that. The Lord in me tell me, you're going to be all right, son. I got to walk in good courage. I got to walk in faith. I got to walk across water. I got to fly across airplanes. I got to swim if I need to. I got to duck, dodge if I need to. I got to put up my guards and fight if I need to. I got to go in my secret closet if I need to. I got to pray with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength if I need to. Why? Because if I walk as a coward, how can I ask anybody else to stand by me? And so now, what am I talking about again? I'm talking about God in me tells me I'm all right. And oh, my Lord, mama, oh, my sweet mama, she said, son, are we still going? Because my mama had a ticket. And I knew Mother Lucille was going to be there. My heart was heavy.
Y'all, we was,
and I knew my mama wanted to be there, and I knew her twin wanted to be there, and I knew her twin would be there, and her twin was there, looking good in the church. Mother Lucille was looking good in the church, and oh yeah, my mama would have been looking good too. But I'm gonna leave all that alone. I left it up to that love that they have of all of us to make the decision for us. I just went within myself and I understood my mom do have underlying issues sometimes, but that's here nor there in the sermon. So now what he was talking about, when the Lord is your shepherd and you shall not want. And see, I want y'all to understand this, because when Alvin can't get to you and mama and daddy can't get to you and Trump is over you, this is what you need to be hearing. Read.
He restoreth my
He
soul.
gonna restore your soul.
He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake.
That's when you know you have good courage for his name's sake. And it start with you will hear it from Bishop Bobby's namesake, but it'll go all the way down to the God of Israel, the namesake. Read.
Yea, though I walk through the valley
As I walk through the valley.
of the shadow of death,
Shadow of death.
I will fear no evil.
I'll get a little weary. I may have a little doubt, but when you start walking water, that ain't the time to have some fear. Read.
I will fear no evil.
Why?
For thou art with me.
Because you've been with me for over 62 years, Elder Linda, since you wanted to know what age I was. Read.
Thy rod.
Thy rod.
And thy staff.
And thy staff.
They comfort me.
What is that? It's the word of God in me, saying, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, and I want to walk in you. Y'all hear me out there, Compton Temple? I want to talk in you. I want to be your God, and you shall be my people. And when you walk, I walk. When you talk, I talk. When you fear, I don't fear. So somebody got to wake you up to let you know, don't be afraid. Why? Because you are in the spiritual Israel church and its army, and there will be casualties in the army. But the God of Israel will hold us up and make sure it's enough of us. Matter of fact, I think the scriptures say 104,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel, not might be saved, shall be saved. Oh, my Lord. The God of Israel that we serve is awesome. He's real. And as Elder Kenneth said, and Crystal's song, it was singing what? What does he sing? Satan.
Gonna tear the kingdom
Satan. 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 You can call him Lucifer, call him whatever you want. Now my children might be on there, so let me break this down. It's an evil spirit that's in man, and they'll do evil things. And so when you see that in them, you know what it is, because it's in all of us, good and bad. We just have to choose good because we know that's what's right. And what's even greater about it, it feels bad when you don't do right. It feels bad when you don't do right. You can't even sleep good at night when you know you didn't do right. And they say I fabricate a lot and exaggerate, and I do. But those little white lies.
No, little black lies.
Those are little Trumpers. But God is good anyway, because he looked behind all my faults and he seen my needs. Read on, honey.
Thou prepares a table before me.
He done prepared for us today. We woke up this morning. Hold on, baby. We woke up this morning. The table was prepared. And if you got a little churchy like my mama that get over here at 8 o'clock, she done saw one service, she done saw two service, and she in a third one. Read.
Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemy.
In the presence of, y'all can't be with me. I say in the presence, and y'all say Trump. Read.
Thou anointest my head with oil.
How you anoint my head with oil? Y'all already know. Y'all been to church, most of y'all. The King of all Israel be anointing our heads. Elder Alvin be anointing our heads with oil. And when we're not anointing our heads with oil, we putting words of life in you to have no fear. Don't be that coward soldier. Read.
My cup runneth over.
I get so many blessings, I can't even receive them all. I can only hug my wife and my mama so much that I got to let one of them go to hug Lyric and Newt. Read.
Surely goodness and mercy.
Surely goodness and mercy.
Shall follow me all the days of my life.
Not some of my days.
All the days of my life.
All the days of our lives.
And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Now, when you ain't of good courage and you get a little weak as a soldier, you'll run out the house. Don't run out the house. That's that bunker Trump was trying to get to. Don't run out the house. Dwell in the house forever. and it's in you. And now, let's read a little bit about David so I can shorten this up because we got a meeting right here, honey. Okay. Just to tell you a little bit about David. Now, David, talking about a good courage. Go ahead.
David was a shepherd boy in Bethlehem who traded his pasture for a palace.
So now, Israel, if you want to start with your children, and prayerfully you can record this and you can see this back, take them to a story like this and let them know how great God was then and how great he can be for our children today. Read.
David was a shepherd boy in Bethlehem who traded his pasture for a palace and became Israel's second king, the most honored in all the nation's history, with good reason.
Stop right there. And she's reading this out of a book that tells you about the histories of biblical people. And so the ultimate word was there was David was a great king. And it's I don't know a whole lot of religions that got kings that lead and guide them. So maybe that's why we stand out different than everybody else on this earth. And maybe that's why it's a little challenging when we say king and they say rabbi and pope. But it's a great honor when you got a king like we do that loves you. Not all leaders are good leaders.
That's right.
Trump is the leader of the United States. So I can tell you not all good leaders are leaders. But when you got one that loves you, that care for you, and this is how you tell them, it's okay to say it's a king. Because ain't nobody else in their classroom or nobody else in their circle gonna understand why it's a king. Because Israel's the only one that have them, that lead guide people. And he so happened head of the organization. And so this is why David was the king. And not only that, Jesus was the king. And so we got it wrapped all around us. Powerful kings in our lineage of spirituality. David was a great king. Read.
During his 40-year reign,
he reigned 40 years.
David managed to unify a loose-knit coalition of family tribes into an empire.
Stop right there. Go to my next abbreviation area.
It must have given David incredible confidence to know that God had chosen him and would bless his life.
David was getting ready to do another miracle. Read.
Perhaps he felt nearly invincible, more so than a typical young boy. When lions and bears charged into his herd.
Stop right there. Lions and bears charged to eat up the sheep. We're going to work this natural and spiritual, Israel. When gangbangers trying to get a hold of our children, Ku Klux Klan in blue suits with a badge, charging to the lambs. I expect every Israelite to stand up and do just what David done. I'm not going to tell you not to be apprehensive. So let's put this where you can really understand. Pit bulls is coming to get you in your day and time. This is the same equivalent as David and his. It was just lions and bears. Read.
It must have given David incredible
David
confidence.
had a whole lot of confidence. And he's finna tell you why David had confidence. Read.
To know that God had chosen him and would bless his life.
To know, not imagine, but to know. Read.
Perhaps he felt nearly invincible. more so than a typical young boy.
Why?
When lions and bears charged into his herd and latched onto lambs,
Uh-huh.
David snatched back his lamb.
Just like y'all would do your child.
That's right.
You would run out there, snatch your child out that pit bull, and you gonna have to get with him, because once you snatch that child out, that pit bull coming for you. Now you tell me how much faith you gonna have in your God at that point. You didn't give it no thought. You didn't get on your knees in your center closet. Matter of fact, you might have been in there right at that same time, puff, passing and drinking. Nowhere near with God on your mind. But you still went out there with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and stood up against the wiles of the devil. And this is what you got to have in you. And this is why the children need to be on here to understand what they got to do. Because if they don't, they won't run out there to save their child, because they ain't got courage. Woo! I can't let it go. If you don't put this in them,
that's right,
and you don't teach them that the God of Israel got you all the way around, like Elder Alvin know for a fact. Why? Because Elder Alvin owned pit bulls. Why? Elder Alvin have broken up fights with pit bulls. Why? Because Dobermans have attacked me personally, and I had to fight being the God of Israel. And I'm still here today to tell you I won the battle. So I know what he'll do for me and for you. But if you scared, your child gonna get ate up. The king can tell you, I got you. Go out there, get your child. If you scared, you not gonna do it. Drop down.
Down here?
Yeah, I think.
Now
read all of it.
And when a predator turned on him.
When the predator turned, now, Trump virus turned on us. Read.
And when a predator turned on him, he grabbed it by the jaw and
I grabbed Trump virus by the jaw and told Trump virus, you not greater than me. I told Trump virus, I will show you in Israel world over, I am bigger than what they wanted to be. Why? Because all Israel shall be saved. And that was what that 23rd Psalms was saying. You're going to walk through the valleys of the shadows of death. I'm going to be with you. And your cup going to run it over. I've told y'all many a time, if an airplane fall out the sky and I'm in it, I'm going to be down there with the announcer saying it started smoking, it started trembling, it made a loud bang, and it hit the ground. And then when I woke up, I see y'all. Why? Because he took care of me. And he done took care of you, because we've all been on some situations that wasn't safe. And he saw us through, whether it was car, whether it was bicycle, whether it was plane, boat. We have testimonies. Yes, we do, on how God has delivered us, especially those of us who drive in the snow. He's done watched over us. Drop down, honey. And I'm about to be done with this.
Okay, so where you want me to go now?
I don't know.
Okay, David offered to do the same thing.
Now, what David did was grab the lions by the what?
By the jaw.
By the jaw, because if you got him by the jaw, he cannot bite you. He cannot do nothing but scratch you. He grabbed them by the jaw. Now look what he done. Read.
Clubbed it to death.
So he grabbed it with one hand. Look at the power that God gave this little fella. With one hand, and the other hand beat it with a club till it submit and died. That's why he had confidence to deal with Goliath. Read.
David offered to do the same thing.
This is all I'm asking us to do. Remember what God has already done for you. He didn't bring us this far for no Trump virus to kill you. I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm not saying don't be cautious. What I'm telling you is don't be afraid. That's what I'm telling you can't be, is afraid. Read.
David offered to do the same thing to a towering
How
Philistine.
does Elder Alvin know? When I walk out there with my animals and they challenging me over the 40 years I dealt with them, the only thing I can't show is fear. They sniff that out quicker than anything else, and they deal with you. Don't forget, they still got their instincts. We the one don't. They still got their instincts, and they looking for the weakest, scariest person or thing to subdue and dominate over. I show them no fear. And I've literally worked around real lions and real bears. I don't be foolish with them, but they don't be foolish with me neither. Read.
Okay, you want me to go on or
Is
read that
it?
over?
No. Was that it?
No.
No more?
No, there's more.
Go ahead.
Okay. David offered to do the same thing to a towering Philistine champion warrior named Goliath, who stood nearly 7 feet tall or nearly 10 feet tall.
It all depends on where you from in the story. He was a huge, huge thing that everybody at that time Israel was afraid of. For not one day, not one fight. He would come out there every day and for lack of a better word, and punk them out. The king and everybody else. And ruled for years that way. Read. And just so happened, I'm gonna speed it up. Just so happened David was being in the town that day. Wasn't even supposed to be there. All his brothers was way bigger than him, stronger than him, and all of that. They said, any of y'all want to fight that giant? They said, nope. Nope, 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 nope. All of them said no. David wasn't even supposed to be there. David was delivering goods and groceries. And David just so happened to see this thing out there bullying people and told the king and the leader of the town, I kill him. I ain't afraid of him. Hello, Israel. Elder Alvin said, we gonna overcome everything man tried to put on us. The only way we can be defeated is if we allow lack of confidence and not allow the God of Israel to lead and guide us. You got him first, and you know he got you. The word is know he got you. And the reason why I know you know he got you, because he's had you in many, many other situations. He's had you when you had a little bit of money. He had you when you had a lot of money. He had you when you was weak in health. He had you when you had great health. He had you when you thought you was bigger than life and got knocked down to be a little bit of nothing. And then all we had to do was submit and humble ourselves, and he lifted us back up in even greater statures. And he have us when we in our weakness and in our greatness. He have us when we look down on other people and we shouldn't. And then he teach us in that lesson, and then he lifts us back up to praise people that's less fortunate than us and even help them. Right. So this is the kind of God we serve. And I'm thankful to have a minister staff. Elder Joe is on the team. Elder Linda, thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
But y'all work so beautiful together, and virtual TV will have y'all connected along with the spirit of the God of Israel forever. It'll never, ever, ever be out of him. And I know, and I pray that my YOPs, teachers, and heads get plenty youth. There's some more being born that can follow you, lead, guide you, help you, strengthen you, stand up. So when they have another assembly one day in the future, we got a whole bunch of pages with other members from Compton down there representing live. As a matter of fact, I'll get there before me, almost like DeAndre did with a car. And so to get their blessings, because God is good. And as I wind this down, I have more, but as I wind this down, we're going to go back to the Oz and the Wizard of Oz. The man didn't give him anything. All he did was encourage him that was already in him to be the best lion he could be. And all he needed was confidence. And our children are going to be tested. And when they run to you, because we always got to go to mom and daddy at some stage in our life, even as adults. They're going to encourage you. They're going to strengthen you. They're going to help you. And above all, they lead you to the God of Israel all the time. See, we got to teach them to learn how to pray for themselves and get confidence in themselves. It's like we do, but don't never let it cease. Don't ever let it falter. Because I think in Revelations, it was talking about the angel. And the angel was telling them that hurt not the sea nor the earth. And it was 7. And oh yeah, before I finished that. Until the seal of the living God is in us. And there's 144,000 of all the tribes of Israel shall be saved. And I know there's many people out there, and I'm not mad at them at all. I saw a video, and it had our brothers and sisters in real armor, black attire for war, saying, the God of Israel children shall be saved. And we taking back what was taken from us naturally. And they weren't playing, they didn't have no Bibles in their hand. They had AK-7s in their hand. And so I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at them at all. Because everything on this earth is ours. Everything is the children of Israel's. And if it take war to keep it, so be it. But we're in a war every day. We have nightmares every night. We fight every second of our life. So don't make this think this is something new. It's just something greater in us to survive and move forward and move on and to know he's got us at all times. I hope you got a thought. Thank y'all for being